Hey Virgo, how's it going? And how is Mars working for you there in your 10th house of career? I could see that you're super busy this month where you're trying to tackle not just one thing. It might be a couple of projects because Mars is moving through the sign of Gemini. So I see you being really versatile, okay? Using sometime here, sometime there, or trying to just create this blend, this bridge between all the duties that are on the table for you. But listen, Mars is really harvesting too what you started 2 years ago. This is the time that Mars is coming back to this area, so you will reap as well as you're sowing. And whatever you're sowing right now, you will see 2 years from now how that is going to bloom for you. So it's a great time career-wise, energetically too. I can see that you're up and running, you're on par with the energy. Mars is direct, so there's no slowdowns, no hiccups, no retrogrades, right? So I feel that May is going to be a super excellent month for you, and Mars will be receiving a few beautiful transits, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and how that is going to power up Mars just even more as far as your goal orientation is all about. And speaking of goals, Virgo, the 10th house isn't always just career. We call it career because that is a part of our goals, but there's other life goals that we have too, right? And I'm seeing how you're reaching for those as well. So you want to see it as both, actually. Since we've talked about Mars, let's take a look at Venus and romance and what Venus is doing for you this month. Now, Venus has just moved into the sign of Aries. That means that we are going to be initiating more. We're going to take lead. That's what Aries likes to do, right? And for you, this is going to be in the 8th house of intimacy. So you might just find yourself being the initiator this month, a whole lot more at least. But the 8th house is not just intimacy, it's how we share our resources with our significant other, or it could be partners and so forth. It's money, but then again, it would be more so in the sense of commissions, royalties, investment payouts, and perhaps inheritances too. I'm stumbling over my words. But yeah, so you will see that these values are going to come between you and your partner. You're going to be talking about how this can actually improve itself. And it is the time of the year to look into your investments, your retirement funds. If you're needing to do a tweak, now is the time to do so. Venus will help you focus on getting the job done. Sometimes we just think about, oh God, yeah, I should change my insurance policy, and then we never do, right? Venus right now will help you actually go pick up the phone, call them, have them set it up for you, and it could be your mortgage. And you could perhaps, if you're refinancing your home, you can come to save a lot of money if you do so now when Venus is here. But Venus is also with Mercury. Mercury's in this area. Mercury being retrograde, at least there at the beginning of the month. So that brings up issues of the past where, again, like I said, you've been thinking about it, but you might not have acted upon it. So between the two, I can see how you can really get your ducks in a row. This will help you for the rest of the entire year before Mercury and Venus comes back here, visiting next year around the same time or so. They will meet up with Uranus, and Uranus is always that point of the unexpected, so there could be some surprises when Venus gets close there to Uranus. More on that later. We have a long list of transits coming up, but I'd like to mention too, though, that the new moon for you this month will be in your career house, okay, or the goals that you're setting for yourself. That's not taking place before May 25th, but the new moon always signifies new beginnings, right? So that would be the time to not just plant your seeds for your intentions of what you're wanting to accomplish down the road by next month, but it also holds the power for a full 12 months. But it's also new beginnings as far as finding a new path. And if so, this would be a great time to not just initiate, but to start anything new in your career field. The full moon, on the other hand, is in your 3rd house this month. That will be May 10th, and the area that's going to come into the limelight, where you're going to be harvesting what you worked for from last month, will be within this area, which has to do with siblings. You might be spending time with them here. It could be your closer community, as far as neighbors and so forth. You could come to travel. Third house rules short distance travel, but it's also everything communication. The third house speaks, communicates, shares, and so forth. So if you're giving a talk, a presentation, having the new moon here, you will definitely be in that spotlight and bring across your message loud and clear and beautifully. On the 4th, we have the Sun and Neptune. They are sextiling, and so that means the Sun being you, Virgo, Neptune being the ruler of vision, and dreaming. So that could be nocturnal dreams. Pay attention to that. It's your subconsciousness trying to lift up from beyond this message. It's also your channel bringing down from above. And what's beautiful about visions is that you can see the full picture clear. It's not just having a thought and an idea and then having to find your way, not seeing the forest because of all the trees. Sometimes we can get lost in that by starting or prompting an idea. When you have a vision, Virgo, you see the end result because you see it all at once. And that has a power very, very strongly for you, and you can see where that's going to go. Before the month is over, I can see how you're acting upon this vision. More on that later. On the 9th, the Sun, which is you, and Pluto, that pivotal point of transformation. I always like to say endings, new beginnings, but when it's in a harmonious aspect like this, a golden trine, then it's new beginnings that are birthing themselves. I feel on the 9th that you will have the power with you. You are totally self-empowered. Your Pluto being in the 5th house for creativity. This is where I'm seeing that it is going to be expressed. I feel that you, the Sun is in the 9th house for your higher self. So spiritually, whatever it is now that you're bringing out is all aligned with your inner self. But say, for example, you're up towards or for an exam. This would be a perfect day to cut to the core and get that. If you're waiting for a green card, a visa, that is also a great day for it, or winning a lawsuit. I feel favor will be on your side. And not the least, too, children, okay? Because children is also amplified here in the 5th house, so it might be good news coming from one of them. Maybe they're having an exam here, and in that case, they are doing super well. On the 10th, some unexpected news coming your way, or maybe you're the one bringing some great unexpected news out to somebody else. That is Mercury and Uranus. They are conjunct, so that also initiates or starts, and that could be in a financial area for your sake. On the 11th, there might be a little hiccup, a little slowdown. Maybe you're going to have to take a rain check. Something is slipping on this day. It's Mars and Neptune, and Neptune rules the ocean. It rules water, and try to hold water in your hand, right? It's there now, and whoops, there it goes. It flows through. So Mars's action is slipping through on some area. Maybe you're the one who's going to have to call off, but maybe somebody's calling off a meeting with you. However, though, don't let that get you down in the dumps, because on the same day, a little bit later, Mercury and Saturn will shore up that situation with a communication coming in and Saturn locking it in again. So it's not really that big of a deal, but the first initial reaction is, ay, 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 right? So we have those. And I feel that could be between either work or a partnership for your sake. Now, on the 12th, Mars and Jupiter line up, and even though Jupiter is still retrograde, Mars is direct, and Jupiter is generous even when he's retrograde. Of course, sometimes I say she to Jupiter because she's such a giver, right? So that doesn't matter. It's like Mother, Father, God, right? It's not a gender thing. But you can expect great news to take place, Virgo, for you financially. Maybe this is a raise, a promotion, a summer bonus, whatever the deal is. Maybe you're starting a new job. If so, this will definitely have a long-term signature for you that will pan out for a very long time. Both of them are, they're between your career house and your money house. So if you're going for an interview for a new job, it's looking good. On the 16th, Mercury moves out of Aries into the sign of Taurus, meaning that we're all going to feel more Taurian in our way of thinking. And how does the Taurians think? Well, they're very firm about their values. They want what they want. They know why they want it. They want good quality. They want security, firmness and whatnot. So it's a Venus sign, and it's in your 9th house. So I'm feeling that maybe you're going to lock in, maybe taking a class, doing a course. The 9th house is all about education, higher education, but also spiritual education. The 9th house is all about truth, our place in the universe and so forth. And where do I fit in? Do I have a mission? Or is it just more of the same old? It's more like the journey, the walkabout within our consciousness, where I see that Mercury is going to want to be quite curious this month, especially because the Sun is there as well, and Mercury is going to join. Later here we will see that Venus is coming into this area too. So here, May and June are going to be special in this area for you, Virgo. Then we have the 19th. I feel that, yes, it is a day of making decisions on some note. This is because Venus and Jupiter, they're opposing each other, but they're both positive planets, but there is a wingspan between them. Now, for you, that's going to be a financial question because it's between your 2nd and your 8th house. And you're like, well, what do? Do I spend this money? That's the 2nd house. Or do I save this money? That's the 8th house, wanting to tuck away, right? And secure. So you might go a little bit back and forth on it. However, though, what's going to help you make your decision, on that very same day, we got Saturn, which is your guardian, right? That's always looking out for you to master your skills, is in a beautiful, harmonious triangle to Uranus, which rules spirituality, higher self, how we change our matrix in life, the way we can think outside of the box. I think that is going to be the determining factor for you. So if you have that feeling that it resonates with you, whatever that choice is, go for it. You'll be good. On the 20th, the Sun moving out of Taurus into the sign of Gemini and your 10th house for career. The Sun is joining the party of Mars. Mars has already been scoping out a new path for you in your career. Now you, the essence of the Sun, coming in here is following lead, and you will see that everything you've worked for in this last annual cycle, now you're on top of the chart. This is a time to harvest those things you worked for, and also there is new beginnings, I feel. It could be a new project or what, but you're going to be radiant in this area here in May. Well, rest of this month and coming into June, mind you. On the 25th, there could be a lover's dispute. We have Venus and Pluto, they're squaring. It could be a money issue, or it could be a value issue, or a self-esteem issue, or insecurities, jealousy, that kind of thing. And Pluto can become insecure when it's triggered this way by Venus. That could be you feeling this way. It could be your partner feeling this way. If it's not romantically, for some of you it will be. For others it will be just money-oriented. There could be a dispute about money and how it's being shared. It could be something as simple as a bill, that whatever. But that is passing relatively quickly. And then we have the end of the month, which is absolutely beautiful. And this has to do with Mercury. Now, communicating with Neptune. Remember I said top of the month, we had the Sun and Neptune, you honing in on that vision. Now, Mercury's covering that same degree that the Sun did. And so now you're communicating what that vision was all about. So now you're going to be getting feedback from your entourage, should I say, your circle of friends, family, whatnot, to hear what they think about this. So you've been working on it internally, I feel, for a few weeks. And now is the time to bring it out, and I feel the response you're going to get is really, really good. The 31st is ending you on a note with Mars and Uranus. And Mars is that drive, your goals, your passion, right? Beautifully such aligned. And coming in with Uranus, Uranus will open up, not just open up, Virgo, it will fling open this door where you can see that, wow, you got wind under your wings, there's action, there's drive, synchronicity. It's like everything just falling into place. We love, love, love when synchronicity takes place because we know we're on the right path, right? Because it's all falling together. And to power it up even more on the 31st, not just do you have your goals now where you're moving forward, but there's the power of speech. Mercury and Pluto. You're very, very clear and pinpointed in what you're trying to bring forward, and you're being heard. And I feel too that there could be a very powerful message coming to you on this day that can represent new beginnings. Pluto's always about new beginnings after endings, right? New beginnings and endings. But since it's in this beautiful state, it's all about now you. Finding that power within self to move forward with confidence and self-assurance. So listen, this is what I got for you, Virgo, this month. You can see it's a very special month for you. Jupiter is going to be retrograde until June 10th, so there's not that many weeks more now to go before you can see that Jupiter is going to lift you in the area of moving forward with those things that you've been working on these last few weeks. I'll see you in June. Have a blessed month, and I will see you then. Bye now.